There's being different, and then there's being fundamentally wired differently from everyone you grew up with. For INFJs, the rarest of the 16 personality types, this difference can feel impossible to miss. When you're the only INFJ in your family, this mismatch shows up in ways that often go unspoken. It creates subtle but lasting challenges in how you connect, communicate, and even see yourself in relation to them. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of why these patterns occur, and we'll learn 2 simple ways to protect your energy at home. And it all begins with that first unsettling sense of standing apart from the people closest to you. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you are looking to achieve a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Number 1, the natural black sheep. From your earliest years, it may have felt like you were out of step with the rest of your family. While the people around you seem to share similar ways of thinking, you process the world on a different wavelength. INFJs are often described as the rarest of the MBTI types, and that rarity comes with a very real cost at home. It usually marks you as the natural black sheep. It wasn't just about liking different games or hobbies. You found yourself questioning why traditions existed while others followed them without hesitation. You noticed unspoken rules and felt compelled to ask what they really meant. That curiosity and intuition created perspective, built an invisible wall between you and relatives who expected sameness. Many INFJs are even described as having an old soul quality, which can make their insights feel far removed from the everyday concerns of those closest to them. Over time, you learn to stand quietly in your difference. Family gatherings put you in the role of observer, watching more than participating. And that solitude shaped both your strength and your sense of separation. And as you sat with that distance, another challenge began to emerge, one that wasn't about what you did or believed, but about what you quietly absorbed from everyone around you. Number 2, absorbing family tension. Picture this. You walk into a room and before a single word is spoken, you already feel the weight of conflict hanging in the air. For INFJs, family tension doesn't just stay outside of you, it seeps in. You carry it as though it were your own. This sensitivity makes you the emotional sponge of the family. You soak up arguments, frustrations, and moods you didn't start but can't seem to escape. The background research shows that INFJs, being highly sensitive, often feel emotions on such a deep level that they come away from conflict completely drained. Sometimes even with physical side effects like headaches, fatigue, or a heavy chest. That's why separating what you feel from what belongs to others isn't optional, it's survival. When you notice anxiety rising, practice mentally labeling, "This feeling is mine, that one belongs to them." It sounds simple, but it creates just enough boundaries to keep you steady. Learning small habits like this shifts you from passive absorber to conscious filter. Still, even with boundaries in place, living inside an atmosphere thick with emotions takes its toll. Eventually, you find yourself needing something different. Not more connection, but real, uninterrupted space of your own. Number 3, the alone time struggle. How do you explain to family that your need for solitude isn't about avoiding them, but about staying grounded? This is the heart of the struggle with alone time. Loved ones often perceive your quiet retreat as rejection or assume something is wrong, when in reality, you're just trying to reset your balance after being overwhelmed by everyone else's emotions. It isn't antisocial behavior, it's recovery. Solitude restores the energy you spend processing tension and carrying unspoken feelings that others might never even notice. Without it, the emotional labor of daily family life leaves you depleted to the point of feeling irritable or regretful. So you find subtle ways to carve out space. A corner of the library where no one follows. An early morning walk before conversations begin. Even stretching a bathroom break into a few rare minutes of peace. These aren't luxuries for you, they're lifelines. Learning to protect this rhythm of withdrawal and return is an act of self-preservation. Yet even when you recharge, many misunderstandings persist, especially when it comes to expressing love and connection within your family. Number 4. The misunderstanding gap. This is where another gap often opens up, the one between how you express care and how your family receives it. For you, love may take the shape of long, meaningful conversations about purpose, feelings, and growth. But for them, it often shows up through action. Did you eat? Or, let me fix that for you. This usually feels like different love languages colliding, and each side speaks a dialect the other doesn't fully grasp. Click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. It's a quick way to see how your own style of relating compares to those around you. To bridge the gap, you start translating. Instead of laying out every detail of your emotional landscape, you frame your requests in a way that your family can more easily engage with. Asking, "I'd love a quiet walk with you," becomes simpler than explaining your need for closeness. This translation isn't about losing depth. It's about creating enough overlap to connect without constant frustration. Still, even with these strategies, the misunderstanding runs deeper than words can express. And it's this very sensitivity to communication and emotion that can quietly push you into another role within the family, one that feels far heavier than it should. Number 5, the family therapist role. Suddenly, you're 15 years old, playing marriage counselor to your parents' arguments. You never asked for this role, but INFJs often get voluntold into it. Your ability to listen deeply and see multiple sides makes you the default mediator, even when you're too young to carry that kind of responsibility. Over time, you start developing skills far earlier than your peers. This dynamic often causes you to recognize adult relationship patterns before you've even had your first adult relationships of your own. You learn how to calm tempers, how to phrase things so both sides feel heard, and how to quietly hold space for people who can't have it for themselves. But the cost is heavy. You absorb the unspoken strain of other people's conflicts, and the weight leaves little room for your own needs. That's why one rule becomes essential. Not every problem requires your intervention. Repeat it until it sticks. It's the boundary that protects your energy. And as you begin stepping back from taking on everyone's conflicts, something else starts to emerge. You notice subtler dynamics that others completely dismiss, insights that seem obvious to you but invisible to the people around you. Number 6, unrelatable insights. Sometimes your perspective feels so far removed from your family's reality that it leaves you questioning whether you're living in a different world altogether. You naturally notice connections and patterns invisible to those around you. It's like noticing threads in a tapestry that everyone else only sees as blocks of color. While others focus on what's concrete and immediate, your intuition takes in subtle cues, tone shifts, body language, and unspoken atmosphere, and begins to map out what might come next. Many descriptions of intuitive types note that they process information differently from sensing types. Where your relatives rely on facts they can directly observe, your mind builds deeper layers of meaning by linking pieces into a bigger picture. This isn't guessing, it's your way of making sense of the world. However, sharing those realizations often elicits blank stares or a quick dismissal. So when your insight doesn't land, treat it as an internal compass. Trust it even when others don't. That trust matters because holding on to your way of seeing is what helps you endure the following challenge: being placed in high-energy family settings where everyone else feels recharged, but you come away are feeling run down. Number 7, gathering exhaustion. Family gatherings often leave you feeling a heaviness that others may not notice. What fills them with energy drains you instead. For the INFJ, these events aren't celebrations of easy connection, but experiences of sensory and emotional overload from tracking everyone's moods at once. You pick up the tension sitting beneath a relative's smile, the quiet resentment tucked into someone's silence, the forced cheerfulness that doesn't match the eyes. All of that enters your awareness while you're still expected to laugh, respond politely, and stay engaged. It's no wonder that by the end, you feel spent. One simple coping tool is to build a small recovery ritual. Try setting aside 15 minutes of alone time, followed by a silent drive home, before rejoining everyday life. That pause gives your mind room to clear out the emotional clutter and reset. Framing it as routine self-care makes it easier to protect without feeling guilty. But the exhaustion doesn't simply come from the noise or the length of the event. It also cuts deeper, because while you sense and absorb so much of what others feel, your own insights often remain unseen and unreturned. Number 8, the knowing gap. There's another challenge that sets in once you've noticed so much about the people closest to you. The knowing gap. You often grasp your family's fears, longings, and unspoken motives more clearly than they ever see your own inner life. This isn't just surface-level observation. It's a deep read of patterns, reactions, and emotional undercurrents you've tracked over years. Many descriptions of intuitive types note this asymmetry in emotional depth. You might sense the subtle way someone reaches for validation, or the quiet edge of fear behind another's decisions. Yet from their side, all they see is your calm exterior. The bond remains uneven. You know them in ways they may never know you. The key is learning to value your insight without needing it affirmed. Use what you perceive as a private guide. Try writing it in a notebook or channeling it into creative work, so it supports you rather than leaving you frustrated. Accept this truth with a calm pause. This will often stay asymmetrical, and that's okay. And with that acceptance, you're ready to step back and see the bigger picture of what these struggles mean for you. These struggles highlight the ways being an INFJ in your family shapes your experience of connection. What often feels like alienation is also evidence of your rare gift, the ability to notice what others miss and to hold a perspective that brings meaning to confusing dynamics. To ground that gift, try 2 simple steps. Protect your alone time by naming it as self-care, and after family interactions, practice mentally labeling which emotions are yours and which belong to others. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which number felt most like you? Comment the number and a short line about why. And if this video resonated with you, please press like and share it with another INFJ. Don't forget to subscribe for more on personality psychology and growth. If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos, where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type.